tall, have your chest out, you're confident, you're an alpha male or an alpha female whenever we get one, whatever, and talk slow and even. No, none of this like, hey, what's up, I'm saying, you want it? We're not doing that. All right, cool. So let's do this. Hey, what's going on, man? You must be David, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm Shane. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm just the guy working with Brinks out here in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So Brinks, you've probably seen the little blue signs.
Oh, yeah, we got security already. Good.
Yeah, awesome. That's exactly why I stopped by.
Okay.
I stopped by because I saw the little ADT sign.
Yeah.
Was that something that you guys put in, or was it here?
No, I put it in. Yeah.
Okay, cool. About how long have you had it?
Probably about 4 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you probably have like one of the older Honeywell panels. But Brinks is pretty cool. We're the company that you see on TV that has like a little doorbell camera.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool. It records everything outside here. Someone was to actually ring the doorbell and send a notification to your phone.
Okay, yeah, I got the ring and I just haven't set it up yet.
Okay, cool.
I got it.
Yeah, how long ago did you buy that?
Probably about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, maybe we'll get you to take that back. We'll give you a free one. So it's pretty cool. What Brinks has done is it's part of the Brinks is Back program.
Okay.
So they just gave us a huge budget to come through here and cover the cost of some of the new equipment that's come out. You've probably seen the new thermostats that you can control like with your phone, and I'm sure you're familiar with these locks where you put the little code in the door, and it actually will make it where it unlocks the door for you.
Yeah.
Now you probably remember because you obviously have security right now in the house, so you probably have one of these panels, but you probably remember like you just had to like put the code in the door, and if you don't, it like screams at you.
Mm-hmm.
The new one looks like an iPad on the wall.
Okay.
Okay, now what it does is it connects the entire home to the smartphone. So that way, no matter where you are, you can arm and disarm the security from anywhere. The biggest thing has been cameras out here, like with the doorbell or the outdoor cameras. With the promotion, they're allowing me to provide 3. Okay, and then we also, people love the locks because you can control that. And then we can even provide the hardware for you to control the thermostat and like your garage and lights and stuff.
Okay.
Makes sense. Now the reason why.
How much is it? How much does it cost?
Oh, absolutely. So that's what I'm here to talk about. So the reason why Brinks has been so popular is because they're allowing us to cover the cost for any equipment that you choose and any of the activation and startup stuff. Now, the only thing that we'd be asking in return just to help us out is I want you to keep the sign out. It really just helps with visibility. And then you guys are on Nextdoor, I imagine?
Nah, not really.
Or like, are you on the neighborhood Facebook page?
Nah, I don't do social media really.
Okay, fair enough. Would you be open to just like talking about us if we hooked you up?
Yeah, but no, I'm good, man. AT been treating me good. If you have a business card, maybe later on in the future, I may.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So just so it makes sense, I'm not really like the yes or no guy, so I'm not here to like try to switch you right now. You know, I'm just the information guy. So just so it makes sense, my job is just kind of show you what we're offering and then write it down for you. So that way you at least have something on paper. Would it be cool if I just take a second to write it down?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you want me to take my shoes off or?
Nah, let's just do that as a matter of fact.
Okay, cool. Do you have somewhere I can sit down or?
No, actually I gotta go.
Yeah, so this guy right here, just so it makes sense, I would walk away from him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and go on and on and on.
Why are you being mean to him, bro?
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. Like, my objective here is not to teach you how to deal with someone that's like, they're not a buyer, okay? Because he's trying to make it hard on me, and that's cool. But that customer, if they're letting me get that far through my pitch, and he already said, yeah, like let's talk about it, that person's letting me in. You know what I mean? They're gonna let me in. But that was awesome. Thank you.
High
Where
five.
all the six came from?
Sounds
Yeah.
like, so let's say we get into the house.
Okay, cool.
Then what?
Here, let's come a little closer.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Snuggle up.
Yeah, bro. You want to snuggle?
Yeah.
High five.
Come over. Come over, bro. Let's snuggle.
Hug it out.
All right. Okay, so we get into the house. I'm gonna immediately sit them down. So like, the realistics of it is, let's say I walk in. I'm gonna walk in with my stuff, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm literally gonna have my binder in my hand, and I'm gonna be like looking around for somewhere to put, like purposely make myself look like an idiot. And be like, do you have you have like a table I could just? Yeah, can I just put my stuff over here?
There you go.
And I'm gonna put my stuff down. I'm like, is it cool is it cool if I sit right here? And every time they're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, all right, cool. You can just sit there if you want. You know, I'm basically gonna tell them where to sit down.
Yeah.
Staying in control.
But acting like you're not.
Yeah, like it's not a jerk thing to do. It's just you're a person of influence, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna sit down, and then I say certain key phrases, and I'll go. All right, so what the company has me do, I always blame it on the company.
Yeah.
Okay, as I say, what the company has me do is they just have me show you a quick video. It just kind of better explains what we're offering these homes, so that way I'm not talking your ear off for like 20 minutes. So at the end of the video, just kind of tell me what jumped out at you or what you like, and I'll write it down.
Technology should be simple. Technology should be beautiful. This is the IQ panel.
I need this video.
The
You get
IQ
it?
panel is easy enough for anyone to
get it?
use, no matter how old you are. It keeps you connected to the things that matter most to you, like your home and your family. Send disarm photos to your smartphone so you'll know when they arrive.
You gotta know when the music goes and everything, dude.
With Bluetooth touchless
No way to
disarm,
do that, they laugh
you
at
can
you.
leave your phone in your pocket, and the IQ panel securely authenticates you, preparing your home for your arrival.
Be as realistic as possible too.
Yeah.
The IQ panel controls your entire home with an intuitive, elegant touchscreen that looks great on the wall.
Read it.
It uses intelligent automation to make things easier when you are home. And you can customize the photo frame to show off your latest family adventure. And when you leave again, the IQ panel knows you're gone.
Cute, Prince. I don't know.
Dun 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 dun. Okay.
And will lock your doors,
You gotta dance with it.
arm your security system, close your garage door, adjust your thermostat, and turn off your lights, making your home secure and energy efficient. With LTE, a built-in router, panel camera, and more, the IQ panel is the most advanced, easy-to-use, security, and smart home platform available. Qualsys IQ panel. All in one, always connected, always innovating.
Awesome. So pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So hypothetically, if we were to end up working with you and you had a great experience with Brinks, do you feel like you'd talk about us?
Yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So pretty much the most popular thing out here that a lot of your neighbors have been loving has been the doorbell camera. So we like to start at the front door. But other than the doorbell camera, what really jumped out at you in the video? What can you see yourself using?
I like the geofence, so if I accidentally, when I leave the house, it'll know that I'm gone and we're on the system.
Okay, so you like the panel. Okay. Now, as far as like the smart devices, like what could you see yourself using? Like what would you want to have in the house?
I don't even know. That one's tough. In the house, I like the door lock because I'm tired of just putting my keys in there. I always lose my keys and stuff, so the door lock's pretty cool because I can just boom, 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 hit in my code.
Okay.
That way, if we ever lose my set of keys and my kids, they go to come home from school and they get off the bus, they don't have keys. They can just type in the code and open
Okay,
the door.
cool. And how many people live here?
4.
Okay, so 4 people. So it's you, your wife,
And then my 2 daughters,
and then your 2 kids.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Would you say that your daughters are going to be using it?
Probably my oldest, not my youngest, but yeah, my oldest will probably she'll arm it for my youngest whenever they go to leave to go to school. In the
Okay.
morning.
Does she have a smartphone?
No.
Okay, so how old is she?
8.
She's 8. Okay, cool. So you trust her to like give her a code and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. And then what about like you and your wife? You obviously have an iPhone, but
Mhm.
like what about your wife?
She's got Android, so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so she can put the app on her phone. She can
Mhm.
control it. Cool. Okay, so we've got the doorbell cam. We got the door lock. Was there anything else that caught your attention? Anything that you could see yourself using, or maybe even for your wife? Maybe something she might like.
No, I don't even know. I can't think of
Dude, that's
anything.
fair enough. Hey, just because I have all this stuff doesn't mean you have to have it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We'll just get you exactly what you want.
Cool.
All right, let's go shopping, dude. Let's get you
Do
some
it.
more stuff. All right, so we got the doorbell cam and the door lock. Now, just a quick question for you, Brian. Would you say that this is more for like security or more for the technology?
I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit half and half. I mean, the security, it's always going to be, you know, number one. But I think it's cool having the technology. You know what I mean? Having a smart home.
Okay. If you were to say like which one would be more important to you, it would be the security. Okay. Awesome. And obviously, knock on wood, like we'd never want the security to do its job. But the unfortunate side of our industry is that like, well, let me ask you, like, when do you think the biggest time that somebody calls us up to get a security system?
After they've been broken into.
Exactly, after something happens. So that's why with this promotion, we work so hard to make sure that people are proactive about situations like this and getting systems before something happens instead of after. So that's why we have like our trucks out here, and we're just going to cover the costs and make it easy for you.
Okay.
Awesome. So when it comes to the security, we like to start off with the basics. Now I set up your neighbors, Jim and Madeline, down the street.
Okay.
They had the front door, the back door, and the garage, and then they had like a little side pool door. Is your house kind of set up the same way?
Yeah, it's
same
pretty
layout?
similar. Yeah.
Okay, so like how many doors do you have that lead to the outside?
So we got the front door, the back door, the garage door, the door that leads into the garage, and then we have another door on the other side in the garage that leads outside. So I don't know if you guys cover that or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So that was 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 doors. Okay, cool. So 4 doors. Awesome. So just real quick, like basically what it is, a little magnet that goes on there. It's about the size of my finger.
Okay.
It's going to go in the frame of the door, and then the sensor goes on the other side. So that way if someone tried to like kick the door in, it's gonna send a signal to your panel, and it'll call out to the police for you.
Okay.
Get you a fast response.
Cool.
Now, how many windows do you have that are accessible?
6 on the ground floor, 4 on the upstairs.
Okay. Would you say that the upper ones are like accessible?
No, not unless somebody's
You got like Superman robbing your house?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just playing. Okay, so you said like probably about 6 windows total that are accessible here on the first floor. Like they can climb in and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I noticed that you had like the updated windows and stuff. I imagine that night you probably keep them locked, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Sure.
Yeah. So suppose like if somebody was trying to like open up this big window behind me and it was locked and they couldn't open it up, like what else could they potentially do?
Probably crack the glass and.
Yeah, like they'd break it. They break it.
Yeah.
Now the unfortunate side with a lot of these other alarm companies, like if that magnet doesn't separate, they actually have no way of knowing that the system would even go off, and they could actually bypass your system. So what Brinks did is they actually designed a glass break detection inside of the panel. And what that does, it listens for the glass breaking, and if someone was to like try to mess with it, it's gonna send that signal off, so that way you're always protected. That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So you get glass brick protection. And then the last thing I wanted to ask you, just pertaining to the security, is like, I noticed that you have like the smoke detectors and stuff. Do you have any of those like monitored Nest ones or any
No, these are just like Walmart smoke detectors.
Yeah, so they're just ones that like scream at you like, ah, get out!
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Alright, cool. Awesome. So no worries. With the promotion, Brinks allows us to cover you on one monitored smoke detector. Now what it does, it's actually pretty neat. So with the monitored smokes, if that was to go off, it actually listens, and it also has it like when the smoke goes into it. If it does go off, it's automatically going to send a signal out to the fire department for you. And then like say for instance, like if you wanted to get like with the door lock here, there's actually a setting on there is if it does go off, it'll automatically unlock the door when the system goes off. So that way they can get the pets out of here or you out of here faster, or the firefighters can get in quicker.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then the other side, like a lot of my customers really love to have the smart thermostats because it does work hand in hand with everything else. So like if the system went off and you had the smart thermostat, it would shut the thermostat off so that way it doesn't spread the fire.
Okay.
So like for you guys, would you say that you're more concerned like if it was like, would you be more concerned about a break-in, a medical emergency, or like a fire? Like where do those kind of stack up?
I mean, we're usually all pretty here. Like, someone's always, home. I'd be more concerned about a fire when we're not home, because the other one's just going to beep, until the house burns down if I'm not here. I don't think the neighbors are going to be able to hear that, so.
Yeah, you'd never want to rely on the other neighbors, like to, see if there's a burglary or see if there's a fire, something you'd want like to know right away, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. So we got you covered there. Now, before I stopped by today, like, had you ever seen like anybody with Brinks, or have you heard of Brinks before?
Yeah, I heard the Brinks.
Okay. Do you know anyone that has our system?
Yeah, I think my grandmother used to have the system.
Okay,
back
awesome.
in the day.
That's awesome, dude. So when it comes to like the advertisements and stuff, like Brinks doesn't really do like traditional forums. Like we're on the internet a little bit, we're on TV a little bit. So the company just has me show you a little bit about our company, so that way when you're recommending us to the neighbors, you know, you're gonna feel good when you recommend us.
Okay.
So the first and foremost, I'm a dealer of Brinks for American
Okay.
Defense Systems, so I want you to know a little bit about our company too, so that way you know how well you're taken care of.
Okay.
So when it comes to American Defense Systems, we have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, and we also have over 90% positive reviews. So I'll let you know that we're going to be taking real good care of you. How many
Okay.
Better Business Bureaus do you know of? Like, if you look at the reviews, like how many of them are actually positive, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
hardly
almost
any,
all of ours are.
Wow.
So it's pretty huge. And then when it comes to that and pertaining to Brinks, we are the number one dealer for Brinks. Just mainly because of excellence in service, and you get awesome salesmen like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. Now, the other side of it, when it comes to American Defense Systems, is we are veteran owned and operated. This is Curtis Kindred.
Okay.
He's a retired Army Ranger, and the big thing with him is like when he finished up, you know, serving his country, he wanted to continue to serve it by protecting homes and families. So that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, the biggest thing I want to talk about with you is the Brinks difference. What separates Brinks from everyone else, like Vivint or ADT or Guardian or AMP? What makes us stand out? What makes you feel confident when you're recommending this to your friends and family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First and foremost, once again, they are an A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau, which is pretty big. The second one down the line is the CSAA, that's the Central Station Alarm Association. They gave us a 5-diamond monitoring center. Okay, so it lets you know like what you're actually paying for. Like you probably had an alarm in your other house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like you're paying for the monitoring, right?
Yeah.
Because you want people to show up.
Mm-hmm.
We have excellence in monitoring, we're the best.
Okay.
And then the last one is JD Power. I've noticed that you drove a Chevy outside.
Mm-hmm.
I know you know JD Power.
Yeah.
Okay. So JD Power ranked us one of the highest in customer satisfaction. Who do you think was number one?
Us or you guys?
Yeah, we are, right? I wouldn't tell you that if we weren't, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is kind of how the competition stacks up. Because one thing that I'll tell you, you don't have to do anything with me. Even if you don't go with Brinks, I would say at least go like with some of the next ones down the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because all of these companies are going to be the best ones to go to. So don't just run straight to ADT. But as you can see, number one was Brinks. Next one is AT&T. Then Vivint Smart Home, which is also a great company. And then all the way down here is ADT. And you notice that they're a little bit lower than the industry average.
Wow.
Makes sense. Which ADT is not a bad company either.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now, this is where the real Brinks difference comes in. Okay? So what you guys get inside of your service. Free move programs. Okay? Which a lot of other companies offer that. But if you ever move, we got you covered. Okay? You don't plan on moving like this year, right? You're not like...
No.
Not like a guy that just moves around every year.
No.
All right, cool. So you're not like a Vivint sales guy, right?
No.
Cool. I'm just kidding, man. Okay, so extended service on your parts and labor. So if anything actually goes wrong with the equipment, we'll take care of you.
Okay.
So it's not going to be any crazy cost to get it fixed. Now this is really, these two here is really what makes Brinks different, because I don't know of any companies other than us and maybe like Guardian that do stuff like this. Okay, false alarm protection. Like with your old system, you probably had false alarms, right? Set it off every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normal. But the big thing is every county and city is different, but usually it's the first two are free, and then the next one you have to pay for it.
Okay.
Okay, so with Brinks, we have you covered. We'll give you $50 if you ever get a false alarm fee.
Okay.
Now this is the big one. If my system was to ever fail you, okay, in the event of an emergency, like what you hired us to do, we're gonna help you out and we're gonna take care of your insurance deductible. We pay up to $500 for that. It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, now when it comes to this, the most important part about our system is the actual panel itself. Okay. Now, really, the only thing that people have to compare this to is a smartphone, because it does have the cell phone chip, like the 4G cell phone, It's got a microphone and speaker, and it also has like our version of apps, which is like all the stuff that we allow you to control. So a few things that you can like tell the neighbors about this panel is, number one, it's the 4G LTE for your connection. So there's obviously no lines on the side of the house like your old system ran off of either your Wi-Fi or the landline, right? Yeah, so there's obviously no lines on the side of the house that can be cut, so we call that tamper-proof. Okay, so nobody can mess with your system. The second part about it is we changed how we communicate. Okay, so like with your old system, they called you on the phone, and like you'd be like, I don't know, just send somebody.
Yeah. Okay,
with us, whenever your system goes off, we can actually listen in to hear what's going on in order to get you a faster response.
Okay.
Now, the last part about it is that we give you full control, through the app. So anything that you can do with this system, you can do it through your phone. Make sense? Awesome. Now, knowing that information, like the only thing to compare it to is a smartphone. Like, what are smartphones going for these days? Like, how much do they cost?
Shit, hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds? Like for a smartphone?
For like a cheap smartphone, or like a...
Yeah, like this is more like an iPhone.
Say like, $100, $200 somewhere around there.
Gotcha. Yeah, so pretty close, but like with the smartphones, like an iPhone is around like $1,000.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like around $1,000. So knowing that information, like with the IQ hub being $1,000, and then the doorbell camera, the door lock, the 4 doors, the glass break, and the smoke detector. Like, if you were to kind of piecemeal this together at like Best Buy or like Amazon, like how much do you think all that would cost you?
Probably like $1,200-$1,500 at least.
Yeah, you're actually spot on there, man. You've obviously looked into this before. That's awesome. Yeah, so you're pretty much spot on there, man. So the average system costs somewhere between $1,500 to $3,000. For your system, yours would be right around $1,300. And then the warranties and stuff, they usually charge about $200. And then if you went through Best Buy and did like the Nest system at Best Buy, the Geek Squad charges about $299 for activation, install, and all that stuff together.
Okay.
So we'll use that as an example. And then pretty much like when it comes to the service for what we call a smart home, the only thing people can compare that to, once again, is a smartphone plan. Like, who are you using right now? Do you use like Verizon or AT&T?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you spending each month on that?
$55.
$55, and then you probably have like your phone on the bill or whatever. Yeah. So what's it like? What's the total
Probably
amount?
like $95.
$95. Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty comparable to like a smart home system, just mainly because it has the similar features. It has unlimited talk, data, and text. Like for like making phone calls to the monitoring station. You have unlimited monitoring. We're not just gonna stop after a certain cap. That kind of thing. It's 24/7, 365. And then you also have like cloud storage with your phone. We do cloud storage for your cameras.
Okay.
So the average for a smart home is usually somewhere between $99 to $149 per month. Okay. So with us, that's basically like the skivvy of it. Now, obviously, if it's a no, don't worry about it. Like, I'll just leave. But because this is a promotion while we're in the area, you can obviously buy this anytime. But while we're here, the company just humbly asked for a simple yes or a simple no to try the system in the home after I show you what we can do about all of these upfront expenses. Does that seem fair to you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what we do for helping us out, like if you'd be willing to make that next door post and just hook us up with the sign out front and just kind of talk to people, we're going to take care of all of the equipment. We take care of the warranty, so that way you don't have to worry about it. And then your install, as long as you can be flexible while my techs are in the area, we just try to get these done right away. If you can be flexible, like, do you feel like you could be flexible while we're out here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll reduce your installation down to $99. And then as far as your monthly service, don't worry about the $99 or $149. We're gonna reduce that all the way down to $61.99 for your servicing. And then that's a 3-year promotion. Now, the number one question that I get is, Shane, like, when does the price go up? I imagine you're wondering that too.
Yeah.
You're always like, is it just like cable and internet? Like, when it's over, does it go up? Now, if I was to ask you, like, at the end of the 3-year promotion, do you think the price will go up, stay the same? What do you think will happen?
Probably go up a little bit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, with your cable bill, it's probably gone up a bunch of times. Now, with Brinks, we're actually very, very good at customer retention. We want to keep your business for life, okay? And me personally, I want to keep your business for life as well. So what we do is at the end of the 3-year promotion, if you call me up, we'll sign you back up, okay? And then I'm going to reduce your price all the way down to $44.99, and that's going to be your price for life, okay? So just to recap what you guys are getting, you're going to get the IQ Smart Hub, okay, with the 4G, 2-way, and the app control. You're going to get the doorbell camera, the door lock, the 4 doors, the glass break protection, and your smoke detector. Okay, you just pay the $99 one time and then the service.
Okay.
If I was able to do all of that for you, would that bring value to the home?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So just go ahead and fill this out for me and we'll get started.
Boom!